Hey y'all, this is Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey Kat. And this is the Fake Ass Book Club. Wait, can we both say it or no?
All right, welcome back to the show, you guys. It's your girl, Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey, Kat.
And this is a book club.
It is.
But not today.
The fakest kind there is, guys. The bestest kind, okay? This week we did not read a book. But I feel like our topic this week is extremely, I like to use the word fascinating. I mean, and terrifying, but fascinating as well. Inside the Manosphere. It's a Netflix documentary. And it's so funny because I sent you a text like, yo, I think we need to look at this. Maybe we can review this. And then maybe the next day, one of a friend of mine texted me and was like, oh my God, you guys need to talk about this. Oh. And I was like, I sent the screenshot of me saying that to you. And it was like, me, you, same. So that's what we're going to get into today. And I'd like to give you guys the official spiel for the show. So, in the documentary Inside the Manosphere, journalist Louis Theroux gains rare access to the controversial online subculture known as the Manosphere, a network of influencers promoting hypermasculinity, self-improvement, and its most extreme misogynistic ideology. Theroux interviews prominent figures within the space, exploring how their content attracts young men by offering simple answers to complex issues around identity, success, and relationships. The documentary examines the appeal of the movement while raising deeper questions about its impact, from shaping perceptions of masculinity to influencing how men relate to women and society at large. Ain't that it?
Ain't that?
Wow. So lots to cover, I feel like.
This is a very meaty topic.
Very much so.
Yeah.
This was it was hard to watch, really, but I do feel like it's important to engage with, just sometimes you ate your vegetables. We talked about this.
Yes, and I'm glad that I have an outlet to talk about this with, because immediately I wanted to start screaming. So this is calm, Kat. No.
Okay.
I'm going to be calm, respectful. We'll see if I don't even cuss.
Wow. One of our patrons was like, you guys are so cute, but actually, I don't think you can do it. I was like,
you don't
you're
know.
probably right.
Yeah.
I mean, I could if it was. I don't cuss at work.
I'd have to have substitute words. Like, what's that thing?
It's just hard because I'm free
Elf,
right now.
like a woolly-haired Millie Muffin.
Oh, I love that, a cotton-headed ninny muggin.
Cotton-headed.
Let's bring it in.
Yeah. Like,
maybe
instead of
that.
the MF word.
Okay, we're going to try it. Let's see if it works. I'll probably forget a little bit into the show, but we'll see. It'll be fun.
Well, I don't know. But yeah, it was. Oof.
It's going to be hard not to cuss for this one. Maybe we shouldn't bring that up for this one. We'll see.
Man up, Moni.
Man. Right. I'm trying. So I feel like, maybe we should just get right into it.
There's nothing else
There's
for
nothing
it.
else to do it.
Oh, wait, there is something for it. It's called a dedication.
Okay, fine. That's probably better because that's going to help. That is nice because it's like, okay, I got all
talk about the
excited
stuff we like.
about this topic and how it's a little stressful.
I know.
So I feel like the dedication is very centering.
I can always tell because you get the fist of fury, and
it's usually down here. In
it's like.
So we're gonna shake it out. Okay. So every episode, you guys, we have to start our show off with good energy and a dedication. It's really important to stay centered that way. And I like to start off things with dedicating to our patrons. You guys, honestly, you're the best, right? Like the continued support, just showing up for us. Can't say enough good things about you. Thank you so much. And then also, since this is sort of, talking about social media and its impact, I wanted to highlight a couple of my favorites on IG. They also are on TikTok too, but _paperplanet_. I'm loving these Schoolhouse Rock type sort of informational things that they have on their platform, and they cite a lot of it. So they do like these animated things about what's happening in the news. And then also to Monty Mater. Love her content too. She's a former white supremacist, indoctrinated in it was mostly Christian nationalism, which to me at this point is those things seem changeable, but you know, she re-educated herself and she spends all of her time like trying to educate people about, you know, how terrible a lot of what is happening is.
Yeah.
So I feel like that messaging coming from somebody like that is important. So I want to highlight that account. And also shout out to China, man, for spoofing the White House picture. I just showed you that picture before we started recording, and it's like Trump sitting there in the middle in the Oval Office, and everybody's around him, like
laying
praying.
hands.
It's just, it's so gross.
They need to put hands on.
Yeah, they really do. I'll leave the link, but I guess it's going crazy. The social media in China, like them spoofing it and making fun of it. It's really cute and funny.
Always like that.
So yeah, so shout out to those things on social media, making me laugh, keeping me informed. What about you, friend?
Yes, and my dedication is going out to 2 books I read this week. So we didn't read a book this
Show
week,
off.
but I was reading for 2. And so I read Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte and
Bronte.
Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, I want to say. And both of those really helped me get through my week, because it's been, I mean, every week is, you know, it's 7 days
Running
of
up that hill.
running up that hill backwards. So yeah, thanks guys for the books.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
A dedication over, but it was weird because I read those books before I watched the documentary, and I probably should have reversed the order to restore
cleanser.
my faith in humanity.
Ooh-wee.
Because it would have been a nice reminder that, oh, human beings do deserve to live. We write books, we solve problems, in addition to creating the Manosphere.
Yeah, we do all kinds of stuff, apparently.
We do.
It's
I think
rough.
that's
fair. Well, now you know. Now you know. So friend, if you could, I don't know if you have a little bit about the person who created this.
Oh, you mean Louis Theroux?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now he's an example of, you know, someone who makes me happy that there's people.
Okay.
Okay,
Fair
so Louis Sebastian Theroux is a British journalist, broadcaster, and author. He received 3 British Academy Television Awards and a Royal Television Society that's weird, television award. He's 55, he's married, he's got a brother, he's 6'2", and he's like, some other things he's done is this film called The Settlers, and it's about illegal Israeli settlers on the West Bank. So yeah, he likes going after problematic people, but humanizing them. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like, okay, these are people who are doing bad things, but they're still people. So like, what's their deal?
I like that he's approaching it with curiosity. That's always the best way. It's a way that I think can be valuable, especially when you're approaching things that you don't understand or you think maybe aren't great.
Yeah, because a lot
like,
of times
let
it's
me
like,
be
boo.
curious. Yeah.
But it's like, something led to
Something's
this.
here,
so
man. Let's talk about it for sure.
How do we get here?
Amen. Yeah, I can appreciate that. I think he's known for that little niche of, like you say, picking out those topics that maybe are like hot button topics, but not to the point where you feel like it's, like you said, he's humanizing it. It doesn't feel just straight up sensation. Yeah, it doesn't feel like that. At least this documentary didn't. But speaking of this documentary, it was released on Netflix March the 11th. And again, the creator/host is Louis Theroux, directed by Adrian Chawa, and the runtime was about 90 minutes. And it was rated mature because there were some definite, there were some things happening.
There were some porn stars.
There were some things, guys. Yeah, and that wasn't even the bad part as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, like, where do we even start, friend?
Well, why don't we start with the first influencer he interviewed?
Let's do it. So Harrison Sullivan, also known as HS Tiki Taki. Wow. Which is ill. I guess he is 24.
Had you heard of him before this?
Not once, friend.
Okay.
Yes,
I think there was only one guy in this documentary I had actually heard of before.
Same.
And I didn't really even recognize his name. I knew his face.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. That's fair. Okay, so like the first one, this person's backstory, it says he's 24. He's British. He's an influencer from Essex. Dropped out of university to do like his online sort of fitness coaching and stuff like that, which is HED Fitness. And then he's just really known for super offensive, very like in your face content that he creates online. And yeah, a lot of it is what you associate with when you hear like that red pill sort of
it's like
ideology.
rise and grind, wake up, get money, F bitches.
FBs.
Oh, dang it.
Oh,
wow.
dang.
I made it 17 minutes.
FBs. And, you know, all
What a
that kind
weird
of
place to
stuff.
censor myself.
You know what I mean? But he also faced some legal issues because there was something about him crashing a car. He didn't have a license.
he did a hit and run.
It was real
He's
crazy.
wildin',
So,
but he's really young.
it's 24.
But he started like even before
Yeah,
that. So like he
yeah.
got into the game.
Yeah.
Also,
Early
it seemed like a big part of his shtick too was like marketing these kind of scam financial companies where they're like, "We'll turn your money into more money. You don't have to do anything. I just woke up and I made $6,000."
Oh my gosh. It's such a grift. That's the word that kept popping up to me. Because I think each influencer had their own brand of masculinity that they were sort of selling and marketing toward people. And I'm just like, wow, like, and I just can't even imagine like every day my life being content, like everything that I do constantly, always having somebody.
And you can see
following me
he had a lot
around.
of pressure. Like he wanted to keep those views up. So you could
Yes.
kind of see the
He looked stressed
desperation. Yeah, he's
That man
constantly
looked
going
stressed out.
live and
constantly.
it's hard to watch.
It was hard to watch. What were some of the more surprising things that he said or was involved in that you felt like
Nothing surprised me per
Okay.
se. I guess it was just the thing that was like contradictory was like, I think porn stars are disgusting, but I think I'll buy this porn company.
yeah, and a management company to manage these I think
OnlyFans,
OnlyFans girls,
yeah,
and
content and
disgusting.
stuff like
if my
that.
daughter did that,
I would hate,
I would hate her
and like
guts.
I'd hate her even more than my gay son.
Yeah.
like that was his vibe. I think he's like, you ever hear people, or that was on Z-Way. It's like, would you rather have a thought daughter or a gay son?
If you
And-
would have asked him that, his head might have exploded.
Yeah,
So-
I liked Vince Staples' answer. He
said
was like both twins.
Yeah, twins. I love
Yeah, that's
what
a
an
good
iconic
answer.
answer.
But what about you?
So Louis was asking him, he was like, so this ideology that you have about that, like shortly after saying that, he was just like, what are the views that your parents hold? Like, how does your mom feel? He was like, man, she hates homophobia, she hates misogyny, she hates racism, all that stuff. In fact, I wouldn't even say that in front of her, she'd smack my mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, that just made me think about like how much influence do we actually have, you know what I'm saying, in front of our kids? Because I mean, like if you have a mom, his mom was a single mom, sounds like hustled for him to be in private school, tried to provide the best education she could for him, and then you're still so heavily influenced. But I also noticed too, he didn't have a dad in his life. Like Louis kind of touched on that, and it was like,
because was that the one where did he have the tumultuous childhood, or was that somebody else?
well, I'm sure his was tumultuous. They didn't really like his
Which
single
one was
mom.
the one where they said like there was arson or something?
Yeah, we'll get to him.
That
wasn't
wasn't
him.
him.
That definitely
Okay, that
was not
one-
him.
okay,
This
making
one was
sure.
his mom is white, his dad is black. His dad was a rugby
Rolling
player or
Stone.
he was like I guess he played at a high level sports or something
Okay,
like that.
but-
But he was an absentee father.
Okay,
and they
that
even showed him
tracks.
meeting him. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
but then him sort of like making this excuse for it, like it was almost like you could just tell like the trauma sort of informs him trying to find his way as a man, and he found this formula that he feels like he gets this trade-off for. So like if I act out on the internet and I get views, I get money, I get validation, I get likes, I get engagement,
hoes.
I get girls, you know what I'm saying? And so, and I'm making money, and I don't care if you're not making money, I don't care if it exploits you, I can look down on you, I'm still
He had a way of justifying everything.
Yeah, he
like he
did.
was just like, I don't care. So I just, it's just me.
It's
Look,
business,
I
bruv.
got a girl to, top me off at the bathroom the other day at the thing. And it's like, and I recorded it. She was cool with it. And he's just like, my guy.
Yeah, this is nuts. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was just
He's like, why would she do that? And he was like, clout. And she's like, how does she get clout
from sucking you off in the bathroom?
And he was like, I don't know. You have to ask her.
It was really, really gross. But also
disturbing.
just the mistrust of mainstream media was something that you could see really hard with him and others. So yeah, and it was very, very strange and very sad.
Yeah.
So
mostly, yeah. I was mostly thinking, I'm like, man, there's still time because he doesn't even have a fully formed prefrontal cortex.
No, and I think on some level you can tell he doesn't really. I think he really. I'm not saying he doesn't believe it. Obviously, he's living it, but there is this dual sort of persona that you have, like anytime you're content creating anyway.
Yeah.
So do I think he's turning it up for that? Yes.
But he's
also
always
still living it.
He's always doing it though.
Exactly.
Like,
but
it's like
when his mom was there, did you see the clip when his mom made him clean that stuff up off the floor and stuff?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so there's still a part of you that's like,
yeah,
you're not about to all the way nut the F
well,
up.
that was the thing too when they moved. When they moved on to do, what was his girl's name? Angela's man.
You want to go to him now?
Wait,
he's
is
the
that
next
who's
one
next?
I've got.
Okay, yeah, let's go to him.
Yeah.
Because he changed his tune when she showed up, too. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't talking as hard as he does in his video when she was around. Like, he was like,
So are you talking about the Fresh and Fit guy? Or
I
are
think
you
so.
talking
Is he
about
the one who's colored?
the colored one? Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get to him.
Okay.
Because this is the one who I knew his face
That
also.
me too, yeah. But I didn't know his name.
Well, he goes by Myron Gaines, but his name is Amru Fudul. I'm going to start calling him Amru.
Okay,
because
Amru.
at the end of the day, the people who are paying your bills don't even like you, bruv.
Oh, for real.
Okay? They don't even fuck with you, brown man. Excuse me. See, I did it. Dang it. 23 minutes. Shit. I had to just go ahead and just have to lead into it at that point.
We tried.
I told you this is gonna be a hard one. This is gonna be a hard one. All right.
Bullshit, man.
Okay, just get it out your system. Get it out your system.
All right, I'm back. Cool
So
Cat's back.
Amru Fadul. Okay, you
Okay.
guys might know him as Myron Gaines. And he's one half of the Fresh and Fit podcast. And so his backstory is he's a former U.S. Department of Homeland Security agent turned influencer, and he's a co-host on his podcast. And then he also has a book apparently called Why Women Deserve Less. What a dick move. Really?
We deserve less bullshit.
Right. Please be more
Finish the
specific.
title.
My gosh. But he's known for like these debates, air quote, we'll call them, I'm gonna have to throw air quotes around these debates on controversial takes, but he basically has other influencer females on the show, women, young ladies, who are, it's a very clout chasing type of thing. Cause I can't even imagine why you'd go on that show unless you really were, you're doing it for views, you're doing it for the likes and whatever. But it's basically usually people, I'm not gonna say all of them cause I don't really watch the show like that, but the clips I see, it doesn't seem like these women are ones who are
Reading books.
Probably not. And then the ones who might, they get drowned out. It's that whole dynamic of when you have a group and everybody's in that sort of echo chamber, it's hard to pop your shit because it's
It
like...
reminds me of the Kevin Samuel model,
Very
where you
much.
have women on just to either run circles around them or to prop up whatever dumb thing you're saying.
And they're usually attractive and scantily clad.
Or like
so
a lot of
there's
them,
that
they do
too.
bring in like models or
Yeah.
OnlyFans models and stuff like that, so that it's a humiliation ritual.
Very much so.
And to make his viewers feel better and be like, man,
my
because these
gosh.
women who are rejecting me, they're not anything anyway.
It's so
Because so much
crazy.
of it is about value. Because that was what their whole thing is like. Well, women automatically have value because they have boobies, but men, they have to earn their value. And
You
I just
value
wanted
boobies.
to. My whole thing is,
What?
maybe I'm crazy. Don't all human beings have inherent worth?
I think it's sad that he internalizes his existence as like you don't have value innately. I believe we do. That's
Okay.
That's a wild
I wanted to
take.
make sure. I felt like I was like,
I mean, that's sad, but that's the thing too. That's the thing, like in the back of my mind, like that. I mean, there's some sadness to that to me, though. It's like that is crazy. So if he truly believes that on any level that men don't have any value, and the only way they can is by writing books talking about women deserve less, or paying people or getting people to pay you to read their comments on the show. Again, the whole grifting of like, in order to interface with me, you have to pay. You know what I'm saying? To be in proximity to me.
Well, that was the thing too, because you said grift. To me, I heard what kept going up in my mind, pimp.
Pimping.
It was all pimping. It's
very
like,
much
unless I'm
is.
getting paid, this is temporary.
This is extremely temporary.
So, yeah, that was wild.
It was crazy.
It was hard to watch, but yeah.
No, well, the part you were wanting to talk about was about his girlfriend. So, like, Louis did get an opportunity to go to the studio and, like, be a part of, he wasn't on the show, but he was like, I guess he ended up kind of being on the show.
He was later on, but this was before.
But before, yeah. So like as they're recording and stuff like that, you know, he's just watching them record and he's you know, assessing sort of the environment or whatever. He kind of wanders off and there's a lady, I think she kind of helps get the talent booked on the show and stuff. So he's talking to her and they're chit-chatting and stuff, and all of a sudden she looks down at her phone. I think that when Amru Fadul realizes that like he's not in the studio, he's texting the girl because he's like, oh my God, he's probably talking to her. And she was like, I'm sorry, in the middle of it, I can't talk to you anymore. She's like, uh-oh.
That was the part that was like pimping.
I messed up.
Yep.
I was like, oh my God. And you could see his face too. He looked pissed. And so it was just like, this is real crazy. This is real crazy. And then there's a part two where the girlfriend. So
Angela.
the girlfriend.
It's either Angela or
Angela
Ashla.
Camacho, who
Okay.
also I guess was an influencer. I don't know what her stuff was online, but she's walking in and he's like, can we talk to her? And he almost was like, not too much though. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to get her on camera too much, but you know, he's asking her, because I think he had just gone on and on about how like
women want to be told what to do. You got to feel
Yeah.
like, I'm the man. You giving it up right now.
and I know what you want more than
Right.
you know. And I see myself in like we have one-way monogamy. Like I can see other women. She can't see other men. And eventually, you know, I would like to have multiple wives. So he wanted to ask her about some of that stuff. And I mean, what was your take on her response? Because to me, she ain't seem into it.
She did, and he seemed to start backpedaling where because Louis
pointed it
out. He
out.
was like, "Oh, you're immediately backpedaling." He's like, "This is very interesting." It was so tense because you could tell these are. I don't know what the ages were there. She seemed younger.
Yeah. I would be
so
surprised
I
if she was
think
30.
Just as someone who's been younger, a lot of times you just lie to yourself about who you're with, and it'll be like, yeah, like this will just work out.
This isn't that bad.
Yeah, and then he was just like, later he was like, yeah, I don't think I really, you don't need to talk to her no more.
Well, and it was like he was holding their dog and stuff like that, because he was just like, well, you know, I mean, I might decide I want one woman at some point, and she might, you never know, and all this kind of stuff. And then he's holding the dog, and he hands her the dog like, get your ass out of here. Go now, get. He basically scooted her out there and stuff. It was just, it was very, it was uncomfortable. You could feel that like awkwardness and stuff like that. So again, there's that dual nature of like who you're presenting in front of because she was saying like, well, it's not the same one that y'all see like behind closed doors. And you know that is the case to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, like, unless you're just really hardcore guerrilla pimping, there just can't be, you know what I'm saying? It just can't be that all the time. Like, let's be for real.
For real.
Come on.
No,
Come on.
not in this world. So when he was actually on the show, I thought it was, I really appreciated him being like, okay, this is why people say there's a bunch of misinformation on the internet, because you got somebody who claims to be what did he say? He was a neurobiologist or whatever?
Something, but he was making a wild claim.
Yeah, I was like, I need to see your credentials,
He
son.
was talking about body count mattering and why it matters, and it was because you could find sperm in women's brains, 2 decades after the fact.
And that's
their
why
DNA
your kids might look like one of her past lovers.
It's like that is...
If that happens, she was
cheated on
sleeping
you.
with you.
Yeah, like,
get a
get
DNA
real.
test for real.
Get real.
Like, because if that was true, DNA test wouldn't work.
Exactly. It's like we could just do a brain sample and see his sperm in there and be like, yep.
Please listen to the science nerds.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're not as hot. They don't work. They skip leg day.
Well, and that was the thing too. Like, as he's saying that, the people in the comments on their live and stuff was like, who's this cuck? Nerd glasses.
He's like,
he's got glasses.
Thanks, Professor Poindexter.
Stupid. He never gets laid. And it's like, oh my God, like a bunch of, oh my goodness.
God. That was the reason why in Idiocracy, hypocrisy. The president in that movie was a porn star.
My God.
Because everybody wanted super macho. And that was, okay, they brought this up on The Read about how, they were talking about Tyler Perry. Or what? I was watching something about Tyler Perry.
Okay.
Anyway, about how the people he casts as his leads in his movies are obviously his type and not the type of men that women actually like.
Of course not.
Because
It's like, who wants that?
Women don't really want greased up, like muscly. At least
I feel like that's
at least the women I know.
Right. Now, that's not right. Of course, there are women who really probably get into that. But at the end of the day, it's never, you might be like into arms. Like, I like a guy with nice arms or somebody who's fit.
No,
it
like
doesn't need to be.
the shoulder to hip ratio thing, that V is a real thing. But I don't need it bulky. Like, I don't want someone who looks like a bunch of bowling balls.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is just...
Looks uncomfortable.
It does.
I mean... to each his own, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree very much.
Yeah, I want someone who looks like they can build a shelf.
Yes.
Like someone
tool belt
useful. Like
on.
that's what I think Jim Jeffries made that joke about how like strip clubs where men are stripping, they're always dressed up like either a cop or a plumber because they're like
Somebody's doing some work.
Yeah, like they were like because they were like even when they're taking their clothes off, women want to know you have a job.
Yes, and when you're done, you can get back to it. Feel me? I need you to get back to the real work.
There's just some evolutionary things there that are very real. The fact that they try to hijack that narrative, because yeah, there are evolutionary things that are drivers for mate selection.
Sure.
But it's not this bullshit. Like women
not.
do want providers. You don't have to make $1 trillion.
No, and it's just like when we commodify each other this hard, when we tend to like, okay, you're a set of boobs in a slit and you're the dishwasher. Like the fact that they wanted to like
He
fact
called that girl his
like
dishwasher.
Both of the girls, so the first guy, he introduces his girlfriend, HS, as his dishwasher, but then also as he shoes, Amaru shoes his Angela off to the side, he was like, yeah, could you go clean up? Like, it's almost like you want to be filmed saying that because that makes you feel like, okay, now everyone knows I'm the boss. It's like, you big nerd. Like, ugh. Like, what are you... Like, it's just so weird.
It comes off as
bored.
weak sauce.
It's giving, I'm so insecure that I'm building this facade it's very Wizard of Oz in this bitch. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, but you're just this measly bitch, though. You know? Measly.
I think you want to say cotton-headed
Minnie Morgan, who, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for handing me the language that I truly meant to use, was cotton-headed Ninny Muggin, who just basically doesn't feel great about myself, don't think I have any inherent worth unless I'm exploiting other people, because that's what I need to feel good, and also making money off of people.
Because that's what we've been taught by the white patriarchy.
Yes.
The white capital, because capitalism was like brr.
Yes,
it was brr. Okay,
It's
so
pretty
who's
bad.
the next one?
So next one we've got Justin Waller. So this guy is the one that you were talking about with the kind of tumultuous background growing up.
Okay.
His backstory: he's a self-made millionaire from Louisiana. He owned a construction business at first, and then
well, he was an athlete in college. He was a college.
Okay, yes, he was.
Because that helped him have name recognition.
Yes.
Because I really didn't know this until adulthood, how much like rich white people love college sports. Like that really helps to give you a lot of clout.
It does. I think I learned that doing nails at a spa, because I used to have like grown women having me put like LSU designs on their nails and stuff like that, because they just love
Go that
I was
hard.
Like, oh my God. Like they wouldn't miss a game. They had, very much. And it's like you said, it's that demographic, because you have money to come,
Yeah, it's a culture that I'm not a part of, so I didn't realize how deep it was.
Yeah.
But like, I think he used that as the springboard to get a name, because when people, I'm working with so-and-so, like that gives you not to mitigate like his work or anything, but I think that really helped.
I think it matters. I think that's worth mentioning.
I would call him Gambit. You remember from the X-Men, Gambit? Yeah.
You think he looks like him?
No, it was just he's from Louisiana. It's like kind of like a little swamp
But
rat.
I liked Gambit, though.
I did too.
So I don't want to do
Gambit.
that to
Okay,
him.
fair. Maybe Gambit's brother, because I think Gambit's brother was on some bullshit.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a cotton-headed Ninny Muggin or something like that.
Something like that.
Okay. But yeah, so he kind of transitioned into influencer too, and he's like this masculinity coach, and his whole thing is like, I want to teach young men how to be, I mean, I don't know, men, it's just weird. And it's very much just the same kind of thing where you are selling them this financial advice, and you and your bros come together to, you have this app with all of you guys looking like looking like The Apprentice or something.
Oh,
it was just like,
I gotta be honest with you.
Dude.
I had my earbuds in, so I didn't see I was still doing my chores
Okay,
while I
that's
was,
fair.
so I didn't see all of the imagery. But
it was not cute. But he also is affiliated with Andrew Tate.
the
Tate
human
brothers,
trafficker?
the human traffickers.
That got pardoned by Trump?
Yes.
Oh.
For sex trafficking. It wasn't
because he
Romania.
was trying to get in Trump's inner circle and all that
Because he
kind of
mentions
stuff.
Trump and stuff, and Barron and
Yeah.
stuff. He has a picture with Barron Trump. He was so pumped up to share that with us.
He's dick riding.
Very much so. And so yeah, basically it's just I feel like his narrative was like, you don't have to be, anybody can be successful. You just have to have confidence. And if you I don't know. He very much was into the one-way monogamy too. He was very big on that. Because at first he didn't want
monogamy
you.
Then.
Thank you. But
That's
they are
just-
branding it as it is monogamy. She's monogamous.
It's like, stop
not me.
saying that.
You're
Like,
a cheater. But I guess it's not cheating if she knows.
You
What do
just
you
on
call
some?
Non-monogamy.
It's pimping.
Pimping.
Yeah, because
Thank you for the way. It's
like,
pimping. How could I forget?
What in the world? Because first he said he didn't want his wife and kids in it, and then he changed his
I
mind.
wonder what made him change his mind.
I don't know. What do you
Maybe
think?
he thought it would make him look
More
better
transparent.
because
Yeah.
again, we do sometimes include women who have internalized these messages and have accepted them to sort of kind of like putting the trad wives out front, and it seems unassuming. It's like, well, she seems to like,
Look at this
she's
gorgeous
a
castle.
pregnant bodycon dress on, and she's got a little kid following behind her, and she did talk a little bit about like,
And there was the fountain was nice at the pool. They had
She had a beautiful
the fireplaces and
It was
stuff like
cute.
that.
It was beautiful.
Very cute. But then you find out they're not even legally married. I was like, ooh, and then I thought it was very interesting too, because she used to be an X-ray tech, and
She
I was
did.
like, I wonder if Moni would throw it all away to be with.
ask me.
To be with a steel magnet MAGA dude who won't marry you.
No.
Okay. You okay with clocking in tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, I know I have to. First of all, that's my whole thing about those types of men. They tend to want to control you, and they don't really value you because they're not even like, this dude's not even willing to make sure that you're financially secure if something happens in your relationship. And you have his kids. She had 2 and was pregnant with their
And he was
third.
already writing the story about how he leaves her.
The dude was like, so is this, why aren't you, doesn't this arrangement favor you more? Talking about, what's his name? Justin. And he, is this more a financial thing? He was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he was asking her, don't you feel like vulnerable? And she was like, no, not really. Like, I really don't feel like I'm at risk or anything. And, and then he's like, if things didn't work out, I have 3 beautiful kids. And
Have a lot of
I had
memories.
a lot of memories. I'm like,
Did
memories?
you see her face?
Yes.
Now that part I saw, because I was like, ooh, they have never had this conversation before.
Never.
That's the thing. I think they've both been telling each other their own narratives. And from what, now, Kat, so their regular listeners know, Kat, not in a relationship, but from what I understand about healthy relationships, you have to be on the same page and communicate.
Yeah.
From on the outside looking in, looking at them, they look like they've both been telling each other separate stories. And that's not a recipe for success, I'm guessing.
Or you're not listening. Because I think that if you sit up there and have 3 kids with somebody who hasn't married you, he doesn't have to really say
He doesn't
anything.
sound like he's planning to either.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's no security net. So, like, again, she does have a degree. She can go back and work and do that. But, like, just putting yourself in a position where, like I always say that, like, if I were going to give it all up for some rich guy or whatever, I mean, I would have to know this isn't really about love. But if I'd also have to legally be setting myself up for financial because this is a pimping game now.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, now we're both pimping each other. What can I get if this is
what we doing?
Then I need to set my terms, and I'm gonna have actual terms. Like and of course they're looking at me like this. Oh, bitch, ain't nobody gonna be okay. That's fair enough, but if that opportunity did present itself and that was something that I was on for whatever reason, it would like I'm sorry, I have terms and conditions. And I'm talking about let's get some legal paperwork in place.
And that's the whole point of pimping. It was like, if you can't handle it, move on.
Yeah,
somebody else will.
Isn't love.
Yeah.
That's not what this is.
It's like, if you want, the next one will. So
that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
Yeah, what a mess.
That one really was like, ooh.
That was real crazy.
Because at least with the other girl, she didn't have any kids with them. Like, once you bring kids into it, that is really, and she was pregnant.
Yes,
fully pregnant. Like, that is a very, you are in danger, girl. Here's another fun fact. Women, when you're pregnant, your chances of getting murdered go up like 6 times. Like, you are so much more likely to get murdered when you are pregnant. Yikes.
And these guys don't love women.
They don't.
That's not a good
And then they will like hang you up to dry and be like, ha, this is what you get. Yeah.
Or your value now because it's just like Amru Fadul said, like your inherent worth in their eyes is just your boobs and your slits.
And that is a depreciating asset.
Thank you. So like after you done busted down 3, I mean, do you have it in paperwork? Are you getting the mommy makeover each time? Like, is he paying for that? What if something goes wrong? It feels like a non-safe investment. You know what I mean? I'd prefer to, like you say, I mean, if that means I have to go to work to support myself, I like knowing that no matter what, I can take care of myself. I don't like the feeling of like, if this dude decides to trade me in for a newer, younger model,
which he will,
he's
already got.
He
probably already has it in the works.
He's doing it.
Yeah, like he probably already has another household set up for real.
Yeah, it's just
so because he's moving around a lot, and she's talking about like, oh, it's more of a don't ask, don't tell kind of thing or whatever. It's like that ain't how open relationships work. I mean,
and I like how Louis like, so if I were to ask her, if I was by myself asking her, do you think, like, would you like to have this person all to yourself or would you rather share them? What do you think she'd say? I think she'd say whatever makes me happy. I think this was also Amru Fadul of the Fresh and Fit podcast. It's like, that's how delusional you are. Like, that's the other part of it too. I do think that there probably are people who are genuinely polyamorous. I just feel like it's few and far between though. I think it takes a very specific kind of person to be able to handle
so much communication.
So much.
When you hear people really talk about it, and it's never like, well, I get to do whatever, but she gotta stay home.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not how that shit works. But nice try, guys.
It's really gross. It was really gross. Okay, so our next person, this one, his social, he's known as Sneeko, but his name is Nicholas.
This was the Muslim one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I'm categorizing.
Okay. Yes, he was something else.
That one was scary.
This one was real bad. So his backstory that I have,
just to be clear, not because he's Muslim.
Oh wow, yeah.
I wouldn't want people to think that. Like,
that's crazy how I missed that.
Yeah, I just caught it myself. Okay. No, I could see how that could have felt like ooh.
It was scary because of his influence and the things he was saying.
Yeah, and the fact I've never heard of him. When I saw those, I'm sorry. Go ahead and introduce him to the people.
So this guy Sneeko, he's an American streamer of Haitian and Filipino descent. Built following through street interviews and then later controversial content, and he's been banned from a bunch of different platforms. I think he just recently got back on, according to the documentary, back on YouTube or whatever. And
then I think when Elon took over Twitter, he was able to get back on that. That was a big part of why Elon wanted to get back on, get by it so he could move.
Very extreme. And I think like the part that was scary, like, at least in my mind, speaking of what you were saying, is it's the young kids who liked this guy and his interactions with them when he would see them out. Like these people, because
they love him.
We saw that with each of our people. I don't want to underestimate that. Anytime any one of these influencers were out, they were being mobbed by people on the street, super excited, pumped up. But this one was real crazy because it was like I saw kids younger than my kids saying F the gays and blah, blah, blah. Like saying all of this crazy stuff about like anti-Semitic stuff and just real like, what?
That's what was really scary to me. It gave me heavy adolescent vibes.
Oh, very much so.
You know, where it's
Ooh.
like, okay, who is that? That's who. If y'all want to watch that episode, go watch it where we reviewed adolescence. But children's minds are so malleable, and people, like, I think HS was saying, was like, that's not my fault, that's the parents' fault. Don't let them, you know, I'm not for kids. But it's like, dude, I think even we on the, like we don't have a huge platform, but I do feel responsible about, like, the messaging we put out. Like, if we put out something that was, like, harmful, I would apologize for it. I wouldn't want to put that out there.
Yeah.
Even with correcting the thing where I'm like, I don't want to make it seem like it's scary because he's Muslim.
Right,
You know, I don't
obviously.
want to spread Islamophobia or anything like that. It's like, I don't know. I just want to have a better world, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know why you would want that. I'm just kidding. That seems.
I don't know, man. This is really, really scary. The part where he was talking about, like, everything satanic, like he was trying to say, like, oh, they're trying to, you know.
It was all the conspiracy theory stuff, you know, like.
And I've heard this from, like, young men in our city. You know what I mean? And that's what's kind of scary to me. And especially, like, the anti-Jewish stuff. Because that, to me, it's a plot of the enemy. And when I say the enemy, I mean white supremacy.
Okay.
They're always pitting us against each other. So they're super happy to see the, you know, Jewish people and Muslim people duke it out, because they're like, we will take over whatever's left.
Well, what was interesting was it didn't seem like his early content really focused anything on that.
Sure,
but they
he's
showed
doing it
him. Well, his early content, like, I don't think there was any real focus on his faith in terms of being Muslim, but that kind of, like,
I think he
transition and
converted.
stuff. Yeah, he converted and stuff
And
like that.
got, like, kind of, like, into a weird branch of Islam.
Yeah.
Where he's just kind of like,
made it up.
he's just like everything. He's like, notice, like, they're always covering one eye, and that's the thing. He was like, humans have two eyes. It's either one, two, or none. What you want to, like, there's not a.
Yeah, like. It's just
that
weird.
I hate all that. Like,
you would rather it be that, but what's so crazy too is that there's been so many conspiracy theories about the upper echelon being into Satanism, and there being all this child sacrifice and all this sexual exploitation and child trafficking and all this stuff and
cannibalism.
And we actually see it now, but nobody actually wants to talk about it.
They don't want it they don't want it coming from over there.
It's just, where's the disconnect? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a lot of the ideology that you're pushing is coming from the people that you're saying.
It's phobia indoctrination. That's part of cults. So they get you scared of the other people. They get you scared of the gays. They get you scared of the trans girls. They're the child molesters.
Right.
It's not coming from over here. It's not coming from, the Baptist Southern Conference. It ain't coming from over there. Ain't no, child abuse over there. It's coming from them. And it's like, and then once they got you scared of over there, you don't point your fear in the correct direction. It's a common cult tactic. Nice try.
It's just, his was real.
They tried it. I mean, and it
bad.
works. But like I said, if you get to people young enough, if you hear it over and over and over again, this is constantly in your pocket, who you see as success, who you look up to. I'm trying to think of, like, what it would have been like if, like, that was the message of Jim and the Holograms. Like, would I be, like a big homophobe if that had been the message of Jim and the Holograms? Yeah, probably. They've been singing songs about it and everything.
Because you don't question it. I mean, you're going to be a product of your environment and how and I mean, it is straight up indoctrination. So
if Big Bird had been like, guys, it's the Jews, it's like, oh, damn.
Oh, my God. Big Bird, no. Stop.
No, just teach me my ABCs.
Yeah, stick to the message, the good message. Oh, my God. Okay. Yeah, that one was real bad. And then the other one was Ed Matthews. Okay, so I think his backstory, he's a UK-based influencer tied in with HS Tiki Taki. So he was the one who was with him. So he kind of tagged him in at one point, and his is sort of based around, like, the fitness and all of that kind of stuff. They didn't show him as much, but I feel like when HS was kind of dodging Louis Theroux because there were certain times where he would dip off, he was kind of left with him. So he was able to kind of show him around. And they did this weird thing where they didn't they lure somebody and beat them up or something? It was like him. It was super weird because they were accusing this person of being a predator, got him to show up somewhere and then like physically assaulted him. And it was like,
and he barely got away.
Louis was like, what was the proof? Like, how do we actually know? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it was very world star hip hop.
It's just like in the neighborhood when somebody just jumps somebody. Like when people just get jumped. Like for some reason there's this pack mentality of like, let's.
Oh, I hate that.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do too. Like
jump,
it's like, it's like if you want to fight somebody, fight them.
Fight,
and I mean, probably don't do that. But apparently they got to fight somebody.
I mean, you know how I feel about this. I'm just saying, like things will and can escalate to that. I'm not pushing for that, but like if it comes down to people getting jumped.
But I think that's why we need
just
more,
like duking it out with the one person you got a problem with. Just
remember last week when we spent like $900 million bombing them people over in Iran? What if we had used that money to set up like recreational centers where like kids can go and like box? Because apparently men need to punch. I just move into acceptance. Yeah. They need to punch. Yeah. So why don't we set up somewhere where they can get this energy out? Yeah. Because here's the thing. Because right now, I want to be sympathetic. Calm Kat is here.
Oh, thank goodness.
About time. Okay. So, wait a minute. How about I get even calmer and we take a break?
Let's do that.
Okay,
so Calm Kat, you're going to come back and you're going to break it down.
With all the answers.
Okay. I love this part. This is my favorite part. We'll be right back. So we're back from the break.
Yes.
And you know, we went through pretty much all of the main characters in the documentary.
Yeah. So what I was going to say was I understand that this is coming out of a general frustration in late stage capitalism from young men.
Yes.
Like young men, there are all these expectations. Actually, I heard someone explain it as basically like now men kind of know how women feel because we're constantly, even before social media, been told we're wrong. We're the wrong size. We're the wrong, you know, like there's a bunch of things we need to do to change ourselves. So we're used to hearing those messages. For men, they've been, you don't know it, but you've been so affirmed by society that as soon as you get some like, hey, you're not doing this, you need to do this, kind of freaking out.
Right.
So, but you're also in these environment, very like I don't want to use the word toxic, but environments that aren't made for you, especially young men. Like you think of school, like school is not set up for young men. Like there need to be active, like asking them to sit down and be quiet for hours at a time. Not realistic for most, I would say, standard deviation men. And that's not, or young men or boys, really any of the children. Like that's the thing, but especially kind of neurotypical boys. And so not getting that energy out, being told you're bad for wanting to get that energy out, that is a problem. And that's not one that they're causing. That's just like, I think what the Manosphere is trying to push back against, they're saying that they're being told they're wrong for wanting to be men and manly men.
Right.
And I think I would say, because Kat always talks about how here at the Fab Podcast, we love men. I married 2 of them. You married one. You've devoted your life. I feel like you're
I mean, I've been around. I mean, for sure.
Pretty down. So, for the women or evil feminists, that was the thing too, where they feel like their problem isn't capitalism, it's feminism. Like that's somehow the problem. Your problem isn't feminism. All feminism is women get to have bank accounts. That was like
without your signature.
Yeah,
or
like we get to have health
care.
care and like we just get because we pay full taxes. It's not like as women we get to pay less taxes because we get to be less involved in politics. No, we get to vote, we get to do all that stuff because we're people. And so recognizing that men being men isn't the problem. Women being women isn't the problem. It's these unrealistic roles we're expected to perform is the problem. So the way to go about that is like really creative solutions, not trying to solve our problems with the same problems that caused our problems, which is unfettered capitalism and people don't like the word misogyny, but this idea of like, you need to listen to what I say and stay in the house and I get to do whatever, that's a type of misogyny, whether you want to admit it or not. So I would start as if everyone was to elect Kat as Empress of Indiana, I would start with universal basic income because that really helps to reduce abuse, and massive education reform because our education system was set up by the Ku Klux Klan. And I don't know, for people who haven't done like a deep dive on the history of the Ku Klux Klan, they were stupid, very stupid people. So they weren't the right people to set up an education system. You want smart people for setting up the education system. And we need smaller schools. Now that will mess up sports. A lot of times people don't want smaller schools because you have a smaller athletic pool and you don't get to dominate sports as much, but it's a school, it's not an athletic team. So we could maybe find out.
There's workarounds for that.
There are
right?
I will bring in sports nerds to handle that part as Empress. Like the whole point is delegation. So yeah, but it would be a whole new sort of way to actually educate it, make it stimulating and exciting so that there isn't this anti-intellectualism because now people, so like school is a negative place where you get bullied by sometimes the teachers, you know, like it's a, and there's a very real thing of the school to prison pipeline. So first things first, get education so that you're not able to fall for your girl, your child might look like one of her past lovers. That's not a thing. And also, it's not the Jews' fault. Like, really get off that real quick, please. Like, and that doesn't mean you can't be anti-Zionist. Like I said, the guy who did this, he did a whole documentary about how that is a bad thing, what they're trying to do in the West Bank. So don't try to be like he's shilling for Israel. He's not.
They did say that, remember? In the documentary.
Yeah, so
like,
don't fall for it. Like, you know, do the research. Like, just a little Google. You don't even have to Google hard. Like, just a little Google and be kind to yourself because then it makes it easier to be nicer to other people.
Yeah. It's just sad because I feel like, you know, you hear about the loneliness epidemic and all of that stuff of men. And it feels like when men are lonely, when they don't have purpose, if they feel displaced in any way, it feels dangerous. And I mean, you see that across the board. So whether we're talking about the Manosphere or you're talking about disenfranchised people in certain neighborhoods who find their solace in gangs or, you know,
or ICE.
Iraq. Yeah, exactly. Or wherever, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I feel like what the Manosphere is offering up is a community because when you do feel like, okay, you know, I have these problems that nobody cares about, or I'm having trouble figuring out my place in the world. And then you have this shiny place that's like, this is where you belong. And they get you in with, you know, yeah, you want to get fit, you know, which isn't like inherently a bad message. But then the pipeline takes you into, you know, probably buying supplements. Or then it's like, not only does your physical need to be right, you have to get your finances together. You need to buy this, you know, download this app so that you can do this. And if you really want to get girls, here's how you get game. You know, this is, and you can't respect women because they don't want that. You know, women are only going to pick the top 1%. It's like you're quickly just moving into a space that's highly like, and like you said, it's not an atmosphere where actual men, because I don't feel like we're talking about actual men because we're talking about this very like narrow view of what masculinity is, what men are, what they do, what they show up and provide and how they add value. So my thing is like, I would like to see men diversify the way that they feel they can bring value into somebody's life, whether it is their significant other, their families, to themselves. Because it's like, damn, that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself.
Yeah.
To feel like, or it has to, that's demeaning. Like the only way you have value is if you're bringing in a paycheck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's crazy. I mean, trust me, nobody wants a broke anybody, right?
No,
like,
men
more
say
than
that too.
I want a
They
hard
don't wanna-
working person who tries. Like,
I want somebody who inspires me, like who I admire, who I'm like excited to be around. Like that's normal. It's not like I would hate you if you were poor, but I wouldn't. I'm talking about Moni here. Like, it would be weird though if you didn't do anything. Like, I don't think either one of us would want to hang out if it was just like, hey, I ain't got it. Could you just, float me all the time? Because it's like, but you have peaks and valleys. Nobody's like knocking you for that. But at the end of the day, it's like, nah, ain't nobody staying down around here.
Because even if this was like, say we just lived in had to get it how we lived, right? There was no like you have to show up to work. You still got to get up and provide.
Yeah, got to get out the mud.
Yeah, and so I don't want to be partnered with somebody who doesn't want to get up and dig the hole the day that we poop in. It's like, it's just your turn. I'm not about to be doing this by myself. Like, so yes, you want people that are adding air quotes value, but I'm just saying like when it's tied just solely to monetary. And I will say, maybe the messaging that does get highlighted a lot of the time are, it's the same way that I know, like, if I'm going to go after the $1 million guy who's doing all this flashy stuff on the internet and creating content, like, I know that that's going to come with a certain level of pimping. Same thing with that girl, that it girl, that's the influencer who's on there posting the outfits and all of that stuff, constantly selling the tummy teas and whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you have to decide what you want, though. You know what I'm saying? Where you're placing your value.
And that takes work.
It does.
That takes work. It takes work to figure out what you want, how you have value. As a matter of fact, reminds me of that white man, Tucker Max.
Okay.
Because that was his whole brand was because way back in the early 2000s, he already peeped game. He saw where this was going. Yeah. And he was like, nah, y'all need to, because he said, guys would always come up to him and say, how do you get girls? How do you get girls? And he was like, why would a woman want to go out with you? And they're like, I don't know. He was like, well, start asking yourself that question. It's like, create value within yourself. And he was trying to combat the messaging, like, I guess the early Manosphere, the pickup artist. Do you remember that dude?
Yeah, because it's very much
negging, all that kind of stuff. Like,
I'm gonna teach you game.
This isn't even new. It's just now it's just so proliferated with social media. But like he'd sell courses, and all that kind of stuff. Like, you see the pattern, and Tucker Max, that was his whole thing, was trying to combat that, because he was like, this is toxic as hell. And he was like, he's like, I know people think I'm an asshole, but he's like, women are people. Like, you just have to,
what?
He's like, you just have to remember, like, that's it. He was like, part of my whole thing is I actually like getting to know the women I sleep with. They're not.
So why do you think men in this space are scared to hear from women? Because to me, it feels like they're scared to have our input, or they're not interested in the input. Why do you think that is?
This is deep, okay?
Go there.
I think it's because we've been taught God is male. And and that basically the opposition to God is female. Like that, because we tend to think in binaries.
For sure.
So if God is male, then, female, that's not God. So everything else would be a less than. Like that was the whole thing. Like even with I think I have to call the Catholic Church the largest bros before hoes organization in the world. Wow. There's no woman in the Catholic Church who has authority over a man. Like that's a big rule. So I really feel like because we're indoctrinated with that so early in the English-speaking world, like in the English-speaking world, when you talk about God, use the pronouns he. And they're big on that. Yeah. Like they're real big on that. I think that's a big reason why when we're getting into non-binary language, there's so much pushback, especially from religious communities, because they don't want to lose that higher ground of he is the king. Like listen, like give him the power, like let him use you.
And that is powerful when you think about it, because I mean, like the messaging that you're taking in subconsciously about what that means.
From,
you know what I'm saying?
From the time you learn English, from the very time you learn words, you're learning phrases like let him use you. Yeah. Like that is...
That sounds crazy. No?
Right? Like it does, when you're younger, you're just like, it's in the context of like, let him use, it's like in a song,
like if
and
you're
it's all this stuff.
If you sing, your talents.
And like, he must increase and I must decrease. Like this is all messaging that at least I got. So I had to unpack a little bit. But I think ultimately, to answer your question, I think that is why men are hesitant to listen to women.
Right.
Wow. And as a whole.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Then I would add to that I think it's because I think that they they're not gonna like what they hear sometimes.
Well,
it's the same kind of thing where you were saying before, you know, for a long time, like we're used to hearing you're too fat, you're ugly, your nose is big,
yeah,
you know, your forehead is giant.
yeah. Why you got stretch marks?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What are those? So you know, we're used to that, and then like if we had that same sort of like honest feedback loop, it's like you said, you haven't been conditioned to accept or even really hear that. So it's like you don't have any practice with feeling sad, kind of like white supremacy, why that is so, you know, like we can legislate feelings now about talking about actual history because it's like, oh, it hurts a certain demographics feeling, so we want to make sure so I think sometimes it's just like because it makes you have to really face yourself and really acknowledge like you're not God though. You know what I'm saying? And I've got notes and what I have to say about our shared lived experience together does matter, and it does impact the way that we see each other, the way that we live and commune with not only each other but just like the whole world and stuff. So that's why it's like it feels so dangerous that this is such a streamlined and widespread message because it's not just social media. Like to me, it's like this is, like I said, spilling into politics. This is spilling into, you know, it's moved into that Overton window of socially acceptable kind of conversation.
Where you can have people saying like, I don't even think women should vote.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Your
all right,
body,
well
my
then,
choice.
then stop taking these taxes out.
It's crazy. I mean, it's just, and then you have women, you know,
Yeah.
like also.
I think he should I'm fine with, you know, Bill just making all the decisions and I'm happy being here until.
Just start this
and
batch of sourdough.
and like I said, that's a dangerous game.
It's going to be like Handmaid's Tale.
Y'all don't even know.
Margaret
It can happen
Atwood.
so fast. Y'all I mean.
Nothing she put in that book, you guys, was fake. She made sure everything was stuff that had already happened. You lose
down
stuff.
to the clitorectomies.
Man, and you know what? It's one of those things where it's like losing weight, you know? Like, it's so easy to pack on the pounds, but like to get it off, like how, and to keep it off, it's like that. It's just like it's a never-ending battle of just like constant vigilance.
Running up that hill.
Oh my God, running up that hill. So, yeah, okay, so how do we fix it? Is there an answer? What's the answer to the
I
manosphere?
already told you how to answer it. As Empress, elect me as Empress of
Empress
Indiana.
Indiana. Okay, step one.
We'll start there.
Okay.
Well, no, really, it's gonna be work. Nobody
Building
likes
community.
Well, here's the
That's
thing: it's
not that.
unrelenting work. Because.
God, that sounds tiring.
It does. That's why a lot of times people are just like, I don't know, just let them have it. Because it's just like one of the lessons from Steven Universe is the fight for evil never stops. Like you get little breaks, but you always have to keep fighting against this stuff. So, but I would say we take examples from the Right to Life movement.
Okay.
Where you do grassroots political action, making sure the judges you want get elected, school boards. This is all very boring stuff.
This is all the stuff that the enemy's doing, and they're doing.
They're
talking about
laser focused.
So
they did it
good.
for like 50 years, and now they've got. But here's the
scary.
thing: what's even crazier though is that they got what they wanted, but it's like when the dog finally catches the car. You know what I mean? It's like now you're getting dragged because you thought you wanted this. You were sold this, but this is what it really looks like is watching women bleed out in emergency rooms is what it means to outlaw abortion. That's what it leads to.
Oh my goodness! Or leaving people alive who are medically dead.
Yeah.
To gestate.
Yeah,
A
it turns into a
child who
horror
has-
show
it's like this
because
is-
you've been told like, well, the reason why we have climate change is because y'all keep getting abortions and letting gay people live, and it's like, nah, I don't think that's
not it, guys.
No,
That's not it.
No,
It's just, yeah. Well, I have to say, I'm really glad that this documentary is shedding light on it, and then like it's engaging with it in a way that I felt like. So do you feel like it was antagonistic? Do you think he was trying to embarrass these people? Do you think that this was like a hit piece? Because that was the whole thing, like, it's a hit piece, he's gonna do a hit piece.
I think they were, for one, kudos to the Manosphere dudes who let them in. You know, like I said, most of them were doing it just for the, views because they
Yes, of
knew their
course.
stuff would go up. But I think it's important. I'm a big talker. So I think the more information we have, the more we can talk about it. So I think he did a good job.
I think so too.
Oh, should we rate it?
Yeah, we should rate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm giving it 4 out of 5 dick pills.
Damn. That's another cuss word.
Maybe
Sorry,
we should
guys.
start selling them. Blue Chew.
What's the girl version of that?
Lay down. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
3 shots of tequila.
Tequila. That's our sponsor for our show today. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, so if I had to rate this documentary, I'd also give it 4 out of 5. Live streams, I guess.
Yeah.
Because everything's so it's just so weird how
It's super weird.
we don't live in our lives, or that it's just
We're in the Matrix, y'all.
It is, but not like
Not
how they're
that
trying
Matrix.
to say.
And it's like, if y'all really watched The Matrix,
Oh my
like
goodness.
that's not what it was.
You're kind of
about.
co-opting that a little. You're not quite assigning
you're
it
not
its
really,
whole context.
Y'all ain't really ready to be rebels for real.
No, y'all not.
Y'all
You're
are
really
very
not.
much a sheep. I think one of the saddest things too was when they were talking to a guy who used to be homeless, and he just kind of glazed over the fact that his brother had unalived himself.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, there's a lot there. There's a lot of pain there. So that's why I want to also still, even though I'm not a fan of the Manosphere, I'm a fan of men.
I just wish that they, again, like, it's hurtful to see that, like, this is what they gravitate toward because they're hurting, because they feel sad or lonely, or, like, that's it. You didn't have a dad. You don't have
and
that
now
sense
this
of community.
is strength.
Yeah.
But
and
this
it's
isn't
like,
strength. This is pimping. Pimps
they're
aren't strong.
pimping you so hard. If
Yeah.
you knew how hard you were actually getting cucked, receiving this message and implementing this in your life when they're making money off of you, you're the one who looks crazy though. And it's great. It's so yeah, we just have to find better outlets. Like you say, the investment needs to be in our communities and like those centers and have places like when the Y
because
used
we
to be
have
a place
it. Like,
where
we're the richest country in the
My
world. We
goodness.
could act like it.
Yeah, we really
like
could.
there's other countries who take care of their citizens
Not
with
classy
a
at
lot
all.
less. Like, this idea that we leave so many people in the wind so that they're easier to pimp.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's a
just
lot
it.
easier to pimp desperate people. So like,
Just really, really sad, guys. But yeah, good show. I definitely would recommend it, especially if you are new to the idea of what the Manosphere is. They do a good job of explaining it.
yeah, especially
giving
if you have young
examples.
men and you're under your roof.
Man,
You need to be, because I just got lucky. Like, my son, he is very much into fitness. Like, I've talked to him about the Manosphere stuff,
Yeah.
and he was just talking about when he was, really into it, first getting into it online and stuff. He was like, yeah, it was like really weird, because at first I'm just getting workout tips, and then it's just like all women are whores, and it's just like, yeah. But it's like
even your
he had a
mom?
strong enough foundation that he wasn't susceptible to that
yeah,
message.
which is nice.
Yeah.
Because he probably went long enough without seeing it too, though. Regardless,
Yes.
like that's the
Yeah,
other thing.
like
I can't
he's-
imagine.
yeah.
From jump that being what you are seeing is crazy. So
I did hold off getting him a smartphone
Device, yeah.
Yeah, as long as I could.
yeah.
Because first off, I just didn't want him losing. I just know my son,
is-
and he
I can
did
picture him
that little
losing
like cricket phone. He
Yeah.
lost that a couple times.
Yeah.
So, and I wasn't
So you
mad
did
because
the
it was
right
just a little cricket phone from Walmart. And then once he got used to it, it's like, okay, now you can have a real phone.
What a guy.
Yeah.
I like him.
I did too.
Yeah, friends. So I think that's about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say to our viewers before we get out of here.
I want to tell them that I really appreciate them. If you made it to this part of the show, I love you.
Oh, yay. That is so true. If you actually listen,
Man, to
top
the whole
to bottom,
thing,
okay,
yowza.
you're the best.
And we only cussed a little bit. We made it through like a good amount of the show without any saying any bleepity bleep words.
That's right. This was a hard one because it was a lot of
It was a little I was very This is a topic I'm very passionate about because I don't
We
like
gotta
being
do better.
oppressed.
I just feel like, my hope is just that we can stop turning each other into things, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like allow ourselves to be full people and not, and that's on everybody has to change the way they think and feel about like their interpersonal relationships and decide like what are your values, what's really truly important to you. Because money comes and goes, man. You can hit a low, and then you're with, man, and that's where the abuse comes in. Don't get me started, WC.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Yeah.
we just have to do a better job of seeing each other as people and valuing each other, because this is it, man. This is our only life. Yeah. And life, to me, has been so much better being able to cultivate real relationships with people. Like, truly real. Like, I know you're not here for, I don't know what you would be getting out of this.
It's like I'm here. It's like I'm gonna take all your stuff.
Yeah, it's like, man, I'm plotting on this soy candle behind you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But also at the same time, like you say, I mean, there are things I look forward to because I'm like, man, my friend's probably gonna bring a snack. That's always nice. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you want to feel like it's reciprocal, but again, like, it's really based on mutual respect and love. And I think that's the best you can hope for.
Oh, is your palm itching? You want to
It
get some
is.
money.
It's really itching. Yes.
Money.
I love that. Excellent. So you guys, the moral of the story is, do the things you love and love what you do.
Yeah, because your body belongs to you, so don't let anybody pimp it. Not
No
your
cults.
body and not your mind.
Especially not your
Because that's the
mind.
most dangerous.
It is, because it's harder to get to that body if that mind ain't pimped. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. We nailed it.
We did.
And we'll see you next time.
Before we go, we must give thanks to Urban Nerd for providing our music, and legal services were handled by Trezanae M. Atkins. If you like what you heard, please feel free to join us every Wednesday for another fake-ass book club. Cheers.
Thank you guys for listening. You can check us out at thefabpodcast.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast wherever you're listening right now. We want to hear from you. Come put it in our life. Thanks again, and until next time, peace, love, and the Fake Ass Book Club. We out.
Yeah.
All right. It looks
just
like it's
dropped it
very
in the
the
chat?
drama. It's not like I won't watch stuff with white people. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't just be like,
Because you're watching The Hut or whatever the fuck. The Pit.
it has a lot of colored people.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it have a lot of white people? So you want there to be both?
Yeah,
Lots of
like
both.
the world.
God, this bitch. Reaching for the stars and shit. God.
I just wanted to be not
What a greedy
segregated.
Who are you are? You're like, what? Is that too much? Yes. Fuck.
I
What do you
was
think this
actually
is,
like
friend?
stunned because, of course, in the thumbnail you just see Noah Wild or Wiley. Or
I don't know who that is, girl.
From ER. Did you ever watch the original ER?
I don't like that shit. No.
Oh,
I don't watch it.